Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing amazing. And so, guys, I want to do my best as me and my team plan to make 2020 the best year ever, as we do every year, right? And I know you guys do the same thing. When that ball drops in New York, you're like, oh my God, it's the new year. What am I going to do to improve my business this year? And so, my biggest suggestion for you to improve your business next year is don't wait until next year. And so that's where this webinar is coming from. Me and my team want to be able to give you guys some tools and some guidance as to what you actually need if you want to make next year the best year ever. So if you want to improve your next year's revenue, you want to improve your next year's time management, you want to improve your efficiency next year, you are actually in the right place. So don't go anywhere. So with that being said, for those of you who don't know who I am, of course, my name is Danielle Patterson Winningham. My official title is Reverend Dr. Danielle Patterson Winningham. I'm a former JP Morgan Chase Vice President, Master Life and Master Business Coach. I've been on in business and on the internet for 8 years. Next year will be 9 years. Matter of fact, yeah, next year will be 9 years. I started in 2011. And in those years, we have learned so much about what to do and unfortunately what not to do when it comes to this internet, digital marketing, e-commerce, social media space. And that's what we want to share with you tonight so that we can get you guys ready and able for the new year, right? So with that being said, I have a presentation for you this evening to share, like nothing special. But I'm a firm believer that people remember more of what they see, right? So I want to make sure always that we give you something to see so that you can do a better job of remembering what it is that we talk about this evening. Okay, let me get it together, guys. Let me get it together. Okay. So with that being said, this is wishing you and your business a very happy and prosperous new year. But unfortunately, there are tools that you have to have, and there are things that you have to focus on in order to make this your best year, right? And so we're going to be talking about some of those tonight. Matter of fact, 6 categories that you must focus on in order to make next year your best year. If you haven't already shared this broadcast, invited a friend, whatever you need to do, make sure you do that now. Because if you were my business bestie, I would want you to tell me, well, you got the goods, right? So don't be keeping these goods all to yourself. So let's talk about what everybody wants. If you're in business, now I want you to interact with me now. If you're in business and you want your business to make more money next year, say me. I'm just checking to make sure I'm in front of the right people. If you want to have more freedom next year, go ahead and say me. And when I talk about freedom, I don't mean just not being at a job, because if you're not at a job, you don't have the money to travel and the money to pay your bills, then what good is that? So there is a certain essence of freedom that I'm talking about. I'm talking about that freedom to pay the bills and not have to worry. I'm talking about the freedom to, if your friend's having a birthday party in Jamaica, you can just jump on the plane and go. I'm talking about that kind of freedom, right? And I'm talking about more opportunity, because more opportunity naturally makes for more freedom and more money. Am I right? Am I right? And I'm sure you want more and better change. And these are things that people don't just want for the new year. These are things that people want, period. If that ball drops, I can guarantee you every year that you've been cognitive of what the new year means, you have asked for one or several of these things. So if in the past you haven't been getting these things, then this presentation is for you, right? So let's talk about some buts. They said, oh, there she goes. There she goes with the buts. But it's the real thing now. You can't get it unless you plan for it. And you have to even do more than plan for it. You got to act on it. And you got to do a little bit more than act on it. You got to move now. Somebody comment move now, please. Because it's one of those things that opportunity favors the swift. Okay? And one of the things that I'm even trying to teach my clients is there is a certain amount of money you lose when you don't move swiftly. One of the things we most recently hosted our social media and digital marketing conference in Atlanta. It was a smash. We had some amazing social media influencers there to speak. But one common theme among all of those influencers, including myself, was that the slower you move, the more money you risk losing. And so sometimes in order to get yourself off the fence or encourage yourself to move swiftly, you got to ask yourself, what do I risk losing if I don't move? See, we always get consumed. Can I just talk about it real quick? I just want to talk about it real quick and I'll go on with the presentation. But I would be remiss if I did not tell you this piece. We always get consumed in what bad could happen. But see, we don't talk about the good that could happen, or we don't talk about the things that we could potentially miss if we don't move now. So say it again, move now, right? Move now, move quickly, and don't hesitate. And stop being on the fence about making decisions, because what good is a plan if you don't execute that plan? So sometimes you got to sit still and say, what do I risk losing if I don't move my feet? So again, you can't get it unless you plan for it, right? So I want to tell you a little bit about me and how my team planned. Our plan for next year is multiple millions of dollars. I won't go into depth about how many. We know how many we plan to make, but a plan of that magnitude has a lot of moving parts. And if we don't start forecasting and envisioning what we want our next year to look like back in October or November, then the chances of us starting in January and being able to achieve that plan are slim and none. You need every day's worth of momentum between now and the new year to be able to start the year with a quantum leap. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? You don't start on January 1st, because if you do, you won't be building momentum until January 15th. And you're out there with everybody else. And there's something to be said for the early bird that gets the worm, right? Because you want to be in position when the ball drops, when everybody is ready for you, when everybody needs new stuff, wants new stuff, and you've got it. You don't need to be fitting to, getting ready to, about to. You don't need to belong to the I'm about to tribe. You need to belong to the move now tribe. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So me and my team, we plan early. And typically around now, we shut down between now and the beginning of the year to do nothing but plan. And so when the ball drops and the holidays are over and everybody goes back to their regular lives, we're ready. We're ready and we're waiting with whatever they need to make the change that they've resolved to make this year. So that's how me and my team plan. And where I actually learned that from, I learned that from corporate America. Like I said before, I was a vice president at JP Morgan Chase, and we had fiscal years. Our fiscal year was over in October. So all we did in November and December was plan. So when the new year started, we were ready. How many of you have jobs that do that? You cannot wait until January and be ready in January. It just doesn't work like that. So in corporate America, their fiscal year ends in October, and they spend November and December planning. so that when January comes, they know exactly what they're going to be doing. Why? This is one thing I told them at conference, and I need you to repeat after me. I am a corporation. See, we've got to stop operating like mom and pop businesses. If you operate like a mom and pop business, you're going to have mom and pop revenue. If you want corporation revenue, you've got to start operating like a corporation. And corporations, they are planning their new year right now. They're not going to wait until January 1st. So that's where I learned it from. It's been beneficial for me and my team. Hopefully you guys will understand what I'm saying and make it beneficial for you. And I have some things tonight that are going to help you with that. So let's talk about why it makes a difference. Number one, as you carry yourself and your business like you're a corporation, you start to make corporation revenue. You start to make corporation decisions. You start to take on the countenance of a corporation. There is a big difference between what corporations earn and what individual CEOs earn. It's a big, big difference. And so I want you guys to realize that, and one of the things that we realized at our conference here recently is that there's nobody with any more earning potential than anybody else. It is the planning, the preparedness, and the execution that makes a difference. Do you catch that? So if you don't like what you see in your business bank account right now, it is more than likely because of your planning or lack thereof, your preparedness or lack thereof, or your execution. But the good news about that is all of those things can be fixed, right? And it's really not your fault because you don't know what you don't know. So after tonight, if you don't do anything different, then it's your fault. But right now, you don't know what you don't know. And so you're stuck in this zone of, I want to do better and I want to have more, but I don't know what to do. And we're going to help you with that tonight. So tonight we're going to be talking about not only how, excuse me, not only how you need to go about planning your steps for the next year, but we've already talked about why you need to do it too. And, again, it's one of those things that if this business is going to free you, if this business is going to free you from your job, if this business is going to create generational wealth for you, if this business is going to leave a legacy for you, if this business is your road to wealth, then you've got to start treating the business like that. The business is only going to react in a manner in which you treated it. So if you don't treat it as if it's your legacy, as if it's your generational wealth, as if this is your freedom, then it won't be. So now, these attributes that I'm about to give you are in no particular order. I don't want somebody calling me tomorrow and say, well, number one needs to go before number two. No, I'm giving you a list, and you can go about this list in the order in which it needs to take precedence in your life. You know, out of these 6 things that I'm going to talk to you about, you know which one of these is the major for you. And so you make that choice according to which one of these things is most important for you. So let's talk about money first and foremost. Most of you guys act like money is a dirty word, and it's absolutely not. As a matter of fact, if you don't start treating your business like what it is, and your business is a vehicle designed to generate revenue for you, to free you from unforeseen circumstances, to free you from working for other people, to free you from doing things that you don't want to do. Money is not a dirty word. And if you don't start generating revenue the priority, or at least a major priority in your business, your business is not going to grow. Some of you have been in the same business for a long time with no substantial revenue growth. And that's because until you either get a strategy to grow your money or you start paying your money the attention it deserves, it will not grow. So, because this is a business conversation, I've got to put money at the top of the list for things that you need to have a plan for before the ball drops in 2020. If you have never had a professionally created profit plan, then you don't know what you're missing out on. If you've never had a professional stretch your mind when you think about the possibilities of how much money you can earn, then you don't know what you're missing out on. You're probably aiming low and landing even lower because you don't know how to scale your business. Matter of fact, Forbes magazine said that although women make up almost 50% of all new businesses, the mass majority of them fail to scale beyond $50,000 a year. And it's mostly because we don't know how and we won't ask for help. And until you get to that point where you're willing to ask for help and get some help, you're only going to be able to do the things that you know to do. And the things that you don't know will fill an entire encyclopedia volume. You don't know what you don't know. So if you don't start paying your money attention, then you won't have any money to pay your bills. And that's a t-shirt. Until you start paying your money attention, then you won't have the money you need to pay your bills. And we're going to talk about how you're going to be able to do that later on in this broadcast. And guess what? Right up there with money, and I told you in no particular order, I'm going to say prayer, but not just prayer, faith. When we entered the room this weekend, and I do this in every profit planning session, I set the mold that you can make as much money as you are willing to go after, meaning as much money as you are willing to invest in strategy, as much money as you're willing to invest in tools, as much money as you're willing to invest in team. But if you don't believe in you, if you don't believe in who the Most High created you to be, if you don't believe in the skills and the talents and the gifts that the Most High gave you, and you're so busy being scared that you won't execute, I can promise you your pockets, your purse, and your bank account will stay dry. You have as much money right now as you have believed for. And if you're tired of scraping up dimes and nickels to live your life, then you will go to your word and you will be prayerful. People think that just because you ask God for more means you're ungrateful. No, it doesn't. You say, God, I appreciate what you've done for me, even as I asked you to carry me to this next level. So some of y'all, you know who you are. You've been praying for the same things, but have yet to believe for them. So I'm going to put prayer, faith, and belief all in the same bucket. Because at the end of the day, if you was really believing what God said, you'd have a lot more than you have right now. Let's talk about some of the, so those are some of the revenue is definitely necessary. The belief, the faith, and the prayer is definitely necessary. Let's talk about the tools. You guys have access to a multi-trillion-dollar tool, but yet half of you don't know how to use it. And I'm talking about social media and marketing. How many of you do not have a 30-day plan for your social media? Don't have a 60-day plan for your social media. Don't have a 90-day plan for your social media. Don't have a year plan for your social media. By the time we finish this broadcast, I'm going to show you how you can get that and more for your social media for pennies on the dollar. If you really need it, you'll stay tuned. If you don't, say, oh, she ain't got nothing that can help me move around. But if you don't access and leverage this multi-trillion-dollar tool to its maximum benefit, there's going to be a day that you look back and you're going to say, I shoulda, I woulda, I coulda. And I wish I woulda used social media instead of being scared of it. Or, as some of you are so egotistical as to think with no earnings, you have absolutely no earnings, but you think you the bomb on social media. Help me understand that. Recently, I did a poll and I asked entrepreneurs to give yourself a score on a scale of 1 to 10. Tell me how good you are on social media. The mass majority of them said 8 or 9. I looked them up. They had less than 1,000 followers. None of them were influencers, and they weren't making any money on social media. Your ego has fooled you. And until you get to that point that you understand social media is graded not just by your number of followers. We learned that this weekend. There's people with millions of followers and not millions of dollars. So we know this. But if your bank account ain't keeping up with your social media, you got work to do, and you need to do it before the ball drops. Become a writer. It's too easy, too prevalent for you to write a book, for you not to have a book in your name. Writing lends to your credibility. It makes you a subject matter expert in your industry. It makes you stand out among the competition. If you don't have a book that's industry related to you with your name on it, and you've been running around here every year saying, I'm going to write, I'm going to write, I'm going to write, I'm going to write, I got something for you. Let me tell you what else books do. Books help foster your spirit of completion. Some of you are horrible at completing tasks. When you complete one book, and right now I've got 18 books on Amazon, I've got about 30 workbooks, I've got about 5 books at the publisher, about 20 books on my computer right now in various stages of completion. A book is a project. The better you get with completing projects, the more money you make. And one of the first projects most of you should be completing is a book. In just a minute, I'm going to show you how to do that before that ball drops in January. But you got to stay tuned. Business management. You got to manage your business like you manage your baby daddy. Hello. You've got to manage your business like you manage your baby daddy. I mean, from your taxes to your time to everything about your business. Some of you don't know that everything you spend on your business is a tax deduction. So why don't you have a coach? Why don't you have a team? Why don't you have technology? Because you're so busy managing the foolhardy pieces of your life that you can't manage the real business. What did we say earlier? I am a corporation. Say that. Repeat after me. When you're a corporation, you got to have a plan to be booed up with your business the same way you booed up with your baby daddy. Yes. Yes, I said it. Yes. You say, oh, she's so. No. Let's just be honest. Right? The same way you have a date night with your man, you need to have a date night with your business. What night are you going to just stay up till everything is done? No exceptions. So business management, you've got to have it. That's number 5. Last but not least, motivation. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how to get all of these things in a package that will help you be prepared for the new year for less than $99. This total package me and my team have put together for you is valued at over $1,000. We're knocking it off 90%. We're putting it on sale for 90% off And we're going to give you this entire package for only $99. I'm going to show you in a minute. If you go to www.wealthspeakeruniversity.com between December 14th and January 1st, you'll be able to get this entire business bundle for only $99. And I'm going to show you what comes in it in just a minute. But let me tell you, somebody this morning said they need motivation. And I said, your bank account holds you accountable. Did anybody hear me? When you wake up in the morning, let your first call be to the Lord and tell him, thank you for keeping you on this side of dirt. Let your second call be to your mama, your daddy, and your kids and ask them how they slept last night and is everybody all right. But let your third call be to the bank. Hello? Let your third call be to the bank, because how long she talks to you should be the motivation you need to get up that day. If she don't talk to you but for 1 second, your bank account balance is $5.00. That means you need to get up and get moving. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, get moving. That means you need to get up and get moving. If she don't have to take a breath, if she don't have to say and in your bank account balance, if she don't have to say $153,273, and if she ain't got to do all that, get moving. How much more motivation do you want? You're an adult. You a whole grown up. Who needs to motivate you to feed you, to clothe you, to pay your bills, to live a better life? I don't need no motivation. All I needed to know was how. And once I learned how, that was a wrap for me. So me and my team, I have over 400 digital products. Me and my team went through all of those products and we created a package for you valued at over $1,000 of products that you need to get moving for the new year, right? All of these products, there are a total of 13 products available for you, including the recordings from our most recent conference, right? And we got some heavy hitters on this list. So you can go and get this entire package for only $99 starting on December 15th. Why am I telling you now? Number one, some of y'all ain't got $99 right now. You ain't got paid yet. So I'm telling you now, so you can write yourself a note to go to www.wealthspeakeruniversity.com and grab your bonus package for 90% off for only $99. Let me show you what all is included in this package, guys, so you understand just how valuable this package is. Most of these products vary in price, and there's only a couple that's not included, but they vary in price from $49 to $299. But 19 fatal flaws you're making on Facebook, that says itself. Those 19 fatal flaws are going to help you instantly improve your Facebook image, bootstrap your business. A list of 30 grants for women-owned businesses. Always be earning is included. That is going to shift your mindset into overdrive when it comes to making money. Digital domination is a 365-day social media and marketing planner. It's going to help you with marketing. This book alone is worth $99. If I stop at digital domination and I just say, look, I'm going to give you this 365-day planner that's going to give you themes for every month, for every season, for every holiday, tips on when to post, when not to post, how much to post. This 365-day planner will help you take over social media. There is not a platform that you cannot use this planner to dominate if you use it every day. So if I just said, I'm going to give you this planner for $99, Merry Christmas, it would be the best deal ever. But I didn't stop there. I kept going because that's who I am. This list of 30 startup grants, startup capital, startup opportunities, that alone worth $99. But I didn't stop there. Let me tell you what all is included on your list. I'm giving you Bootstrap Your Business. That's the list of over 30 startup capital awards. $1 Million You, that is a 7-figure, my methodology for generating 7 figures and beyond. Jumpstart Your January Earnings. I've used it every single year for new and fresh ideas to get my revenue to make a quantum leap in January. Always be earning, like I said. It's going to shift your mindset about your ability to earn money all the time. Your inconsistent actions make for inconsistent revenue. And that inconsistent revenue is killing you. It's not freeing you. My new book, 30 Days of Thanks, that is going to be rooted in your prayer. And so as you create that habit of prayer and thanksgiving, you also understand you have the right to ask for more. As it relates to social media, I'm giving you the digital domination, which is 365 days of social media marketing and planning. That alone is worth thousands of dollars. Fix Your Face, how to give your Facebook a facelift. You don't see what I see on your Facebook. You don't see what I see on your Facebook because you're watching other people who are not making money. And collectively, you're watching each other. And unfortunately, y'all are mostly doing it wrong. It's not your fault, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't fix it. So Fix Your Face is a workshop on how to give your Facebook a facelift. Fatal Flaws of Facebook, 19 things you're doing that you shouldn't do. And then for those of you who need to become a writer, I'm not only giving you my writer winning ebook, which by the way, I've used to teach over 2,500 people how to write their book with about an 80% success rate. I'm also giving you the Market and Launch Your ebook course that's going to help you market and be able to sell that book. And then when it comes to business management, I'm giving you 100K taxes, some things you must know in order to be able to get along better with Uncle Sam and get the F out, which is my ultimate time management guide. And I'm giving you the bonus recordings of our most recent conference as soon as they become available. Now, you can go to www.wealthspeakeruniversity.com and you may say, Coach, I don't need all these. Let me see how many of them is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I gave it's 12 of them for the 12 days of Christmas, and I gave you a bonus. You may say, Coach, I don't need all of these. I'm just going to go buy a couple. Well, if you buy them individually, they're $12 each. If you wait and buy them, some of them are going to be as much as $199 after the new year. But if you buy them all as a bundle, you only pay $99 for the entire list. These are things that never grow out of style. This list of how to get capital, how to create a 7-figure business, how to jumpstart your January earnings, how to always be earning. These are perpetual workshops. The information never gets old. It never ages. And the consistency in which you leverage it is the consistency in which you generate revenue. Every time you go to write a book, you can download this same one. Every time it's tax season, download this same workshop. Every time you're struggling with your time management, every time you need some motivation, look at these recordings. So, guys, it's going to be available on December 15th through January 1st. December 15th through January 1st. Go to www.wealthspeakeruniversity.com, and these are going to be available for you. Listen, guys, me and my team went through great lengths to pull out the workshops and the webinar that we knew were going to help you make quantum leaps in your business in those particular categories we talked about. We talked about money. We talked about prayer and belief and thanksgiving. We talked about motivation. We talked about social media marketing, and we also talked about managing your business like you manage your man. You're going to have to make a choice at this point to say, you know what? I'm going to invest $99 in 12 programs plus a bonus of over 20 speakers speaking at our recent conference. You have to make the decision to make that investment. And guess what? It's tax deductible if you didn't know that. So this is a win-win situation for you. I wanted to go through not only those programs, but to show you now is the time to get ready. If you watch one of those programs and make movements each day between now and the first of the year, you will be light years ahead of where you are right now as it relates to generating the revenue and sustaining the success that you have in your business. Guys, I got to get out of here, but I appreciate you taking the time and make sure you go out there, share that link with your friends. This is the Christmas bonus for your business of the year. I want you guys to not only enjoy it, but I want your businesses to grow and be successful as a result of it. Thank you, guys. Coach loves you tremendously. Happy holidays.